Hi guys, so I, as you can see, am back home and I have a massive, and I do mean massive, book haul because I went and got all of my books out of storage and I'm so happy. So I have two Rubbermaid bins right here next to me. I will not be so mean to you guys and do them all. Of course, there may be some that are duplicates. There are some that are like really old historical romances I won't do. And then there are books that I'm going to unhaul. So the ones I'm going to get rid of, you'll see in an unhaul video. And the ones, like the historical ones, you'll see whenever I get around to my paperback bookshelf tour. So for now, I'll show you like the paranormal and fantasy. And I don't even know what all the fuck is in here. So let's get my book unhauling buddy here with me. This is not my usual big boy glass. This is one of the ones I got from storage. They're my favorites. They're super cheap. I got them from like Ross or Marshalls, but they're blue. My favorite colors. Little things make me happy, guys. Little things. This ain't wine, BT dubs. That's whiskey and cranberry mango juice. Alright, so right on top is Swallowing Darkness by Laurel K. Hamilton. This goes with, I don't know if you can see them down here, Kiss of Shadow and Divine Misdemeanors. But anyway, this is the Meredith Gentry series by Laurel K. Hamilton. I used to love them, and then like I say constantly, they descended into like mindless orgies, so I don't read them anymore. But I don't want to get rid of them because I do like the beginning ones, and they have my favorite like really dark, like cruel dark fae. And there is Pants on Fire by Meg Cabot. This is a YA book. Meg Cabot, who wrote The Princess Diaries, of which I have some of them here, which I freaking love. So there is Princess in Love, Princess in Pink, Princess Diaries number 3 and 5, Princess Diaries number 10, which I didn't know was a thing. I have in paperback. I found recently. It's over here. I have not read it yet. This is the finale, The Royal Wedding. There's also Airhead by Meg Cabot. This one is about this girl, and I think the girl was overweight, and there's this model that nobody liked, and she was doing some kind of like promo event, and something fell on her head and killed her, and they like put the other girl into her body. It's a cool series. I like it. It's of course YA also. And there's Princess in Waiting, Princess Diaries number 4. Being Nikki. Did I ever even finish this book, yo? I don't know, but this is the sequel to Airhead. Dude, my books were like pristine. It just shows you, even these books gotta be close to 10 years old. Like I bought them as they came out. Yeah, see, this was released in June 2008. This is 10 years old. This book is damn pristine because I am a spaz about damaged books. There is, what this is, child? Princess Diaries number 9, Princess Mia. I have 2 contemporary romance books by Jennifer Cruzy, who I love. Her writing is very quirky and funny. There is Manhunting, and then Strange Bed Persons. You can tell I'm from Texas. It's from H-E-B, child. I don't remember what those are about. I don't even know actually if I read both of them. When did I buy these? Here's a receipt that is so old it is blanked out. Is it got a date on it, bitch? 2009. And there's Princess Diaries number 2, Princess in the Spotlight. Oh, and then these motherfuckers, which I just can't seem to make myself get rid of. There's Twilight, Breaking Dawn, and Eclipse. Is that all of them? Were there only 3? Yeah, I think that's it. Don't fucking judge me, okay? Then, I don't know if you guys remember me showing you those funny, like, outlaw vampire, Western romance books that I have, but this is the other one. This is one of the first ones that I had. One sec, let me see if I got the other. Yeah, so this is the one that started the fuckery. This is the one that I bought. Shit, I don't know when the hell I bought this. It was probably close to 10 years old too. This one is Caleb. And then the ones that I already had and I've showed you guys in hauls before, Jace, Jared, Slade, and Reaper's Vow. They're part of the Shadow Wranglers and the Shadow Reapers. I think the Shadow Wranglers are vampires and the Shadow Reapers is the newer ones, and they're shifters. Just, or vice versa. Just whatever. Just let me have that, okay? Leave me alone. I like them. Shut up. Heart Fate by Robin D. Owens. This one is one I know for sure I've never read. Oh, so this one is about, I don't know if they're shifters or fae. It's kind of unclear. But this girl who's married to a wealthy older man, she runs away from his abusive home at 17, and then as her husband's chasing her, she finds sanctuary in this place where she runs into her actual mate, but he's got issues and she's running from somebody, so there's that tension there. Dark Prince by Christine Feehan. I don't think I have that one. Oh, yeah, this one, yep, I did actually get through. So this is one of the vampire paranormal, when the human in this case is a paranormal, like a telepathic hunter of serial killers, and the telepathicness draws the vampire big bad to her, and of course they get together, and etc. But I like Christine Feehan's books. They're not my absolute favorite, but see, here's another one, Lair of the Lion. I didn't read this one, but I think this one was supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's by a paranormal author who I have a lot of her books. It's paranormal romance. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna read that? But stop. Dark Magic by Cheyenne McCrae. Is this Shifters? Not really sure what this is about. I haven't read this one yet. This is about a paranormal special forces unit. It's paranormal romance. Since there is Love Avenged by J.R. Ward, which I have. This is a book where I did that review for that arc and I really didn't like it by Candlin Sparks. See, I do have some of her books. I actually like this one. It was corny, but I liked it. This one is about a bear shifter and this woman that he meets, and she's on this, what is it, like this home repair show, and they're remodeling the place, and basically his friends set it up because they saw her and knew that he had a crush on her, because for a human, she's a bigger woman, like Nordic, tall, just, and also big boned, so she gets made fun of a lot, but he's a huge guy and he's a bear shifter, so smaller sized human women are afraid of him, and he's had a crush on her, so he keeps like copies of the show, and his friends knew it, and so they volunteered there. I think it was like a school to be put on the show so he could meet her. It's really cute and I like it. This one's called Wild About You. Running Hot by Jane Ann Krentz, and this one's a paranormal romance about the Arcane Society. It's this guy who's an ex-cop and then a librarian who can read ours. Don't know how they get together. I haven't read this one, I don't think. This is one of the ones I bought not that long before I moved and then never got to take it with me. Then I have Lothair by Cresley Cole, which is a paranormal romance. The Immortals After Dark series, which I have Lothair over here. But I don't actually think I'm going to get rid of this one because I like it. Just, I have both. Leave me alone. Laurie Foster, Savor the Danger. This is a contemporary romance. A mercenary who falls in love with, I believe, the woman he's rescuing from a kidnapping. I have The Ancient One by T.A. Barron. This was actually a school library book that I never returned. And I ended up having to pay for, and then I found it. So since I paid for it, I was like, well, it's mine now. Then I find this to be funny. This was in there. This is a bind up of the Complete Paradise Cycle by Tanith Lee, because it reminded me of books by Tanith Lee that I had read as a kid, and I knew that I had been obsessed with these, like the Clyde journals, which I have somewhere around here. I don't know. They're the ones I showed in my last haul that I got because Bethany brought them up and reminded me of them in her haul. And it's funny that I got this not that long after, but this one is adult as opposed to YA. And then just a little bit of the synopsis in the back says, all who came to paradise were forever touched by its dread magic. The city was not one place but three, bound together by a labyrinth of ice, yet separated, perhaps by time, perhaps by some long forgotten enchantment. Into paradise, it's paradise, but they're all spelled in different ways. Paradise, paradise, and paradise, each cursed in an entirely different way. Witness the city's life and history through the eyes of its provocative and perverse citizens. A darkly fascinating odyssey as only World Fantasy Award winner Tanith Lee could manage it. And then I have Sins of the Night by Sherrilyn Kenyon, which will start my ridiculous Sherrilyn Kenyon haul, which you'll see here momentarily. So there are the books that I bought. There is Grim Space by Anne Aguirre, which I already read. This one, I have them on Kindle, but I saw the paperback in a thrift store before I went on vacation. And this one is a sci-fi romance, kind of. The romance is very light, but it's about this girl who's called a, what is she, a jumper? Kind of. She basically can pull ships, navigate them through grim space, which is kind of like warp speed, a kind of a thing. But every time they go into grim space, it kind of takes a little bit out of them until, you know, it's basically like it limits your lifespan the further and further you jump. So something happened to Jax, who is Samantha Jax, who is the main character. Something happened to her. She basically, the book starts and she's waking up in this facility because the Jumpers are part of the military. This is the only place that happens part of this, like, this corps, basically. Something happened to her, so she's back at this corps facility and they're trying to figure out, okay, what happened, because everybody died and you're the only one, and they're trying to blame her. So it's basically sci-fi and like a whodunit kind of a mystery with a little bit of romance in it. I liked it, but there are a lot of aspects of the romance that are very clunky a little bit. And then if you go and read, I read the synopses for the next books, and it just let me know that that aspect got worse instead of better. Which in it, book, it's a pretty big deal. Towards the end of the book, a pretty integral part of the character's growth and development and plot line, and then it just basically becomes like doing stupid stuff to these two characters just for the sake of having something to do with these characters. Then Amanda, the naughty librarian, was wonderful enough to send me Unleash the Night. She went to a festival in California and Sherrilyn Kenyon was there, and she got it personalized and autographed for me because she is the bomb diggity. So that's the other book, my Sherrilyn Kenyon haul. Then there is The Wake of Vultures and the Conspiracy of Ravens by Lila Bowen. This is book 1 and book 2 in the Shadow series. These are actually about an African American heroine, but they're set in like a Wild West kind of setting, and she's supposed to be pretty badass. So I'm excited to read those. And there is Angel Fall and the End of Days by Susan E. This is book 1 and book 3. I do not have book 2 yet. I do, however, have them all on Kindle, or I had them all on Kindle Unlimited, but I turned Kindle Unlimited off, and so I no longer have access to them. So I'm going to buy them because I never got to them, but they're supposed to be amazing urban fantasy featuring angels. And if you read a lot of urban fantasy, you know the ones with like angels. Angels are right up there with dragons. Shit's just hard to pull off very well. These are supposed to be phenomenal. They are indie written and published, so super stoked about that. I found this in Houston. This is Lady Justice by Neil Gaiman. It is the Complete Comics of Volume 1. So this is about several women who basically have been tragically wronged and they turned into vigilantes and or superheroes, some combination thereof. And I just like the artwork though. And it's got Neil Gaiman's name on it, so it's gonna be trippy. I'm excited about it. Super excited about it. So we'll go up there on my comic shelf. Then another Crystal Cole book. Of course, I've already read this one, but I don't own it. This is Wicked Abyss. I own it on Kindle. I don't own a physical copy. It's Wicked Abyss by Crystal Cole. This is the last one, or the second to last one. Yep, this was the last one that I know of. I of course read it and loved it, and I will put it here with my other Immortal After Dark books. There is Cinderella's Dress by Shonda Slade. If you guys watched last year, my April month was like April Rain Retellings and Retellings or something crazy like that, where I just read only retellings for the month of April. I read Spindle, which was a Sleeping Beauty retelling that took place in the industrial era. This one is a Cinderella retelling that takes place in World War II times. It's not a legit like actual like retelling kinda, but in both stories the girls are like descended from kind of a thing. So in this one, Kate just basically wants to work. She's creating window displays in these stores in wartime to help out in the war effort, and long lost relatives arrive and they have this steamer trunk with what they claim to be Cinderella's dress, and she finds out that she's supposed to be, or somebody in the family is supposed to be, and they're like wicked stepsisters and everything's like kind of revolving around this dress. So while it may sound a little corny from that synopsis, I read Spindle and I actually really liked it. So I'm excited to have another book of hers and another retelling, because I will always read retellings. Always. Books. More books. Then I have by Gina Showalter, The Darkest Passion. For some reason, I used to get Gina Showalter and Cressida Cole confused. I don't know why. But this is from her Lord of the Underworld series, of which I own several. They are, of course, Paranormal Romance. I think these ones are the angels and demons and immortal warriors who have like certain demons trapped inside of them. Basically, it's kind of like Pandora's box. They have like the demon of wrath, the demon of poison, the demon of like gluttony, blah, 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 blah. And they're all trying to stay away from other people and keep a hold on their inner demons, literally. But then, of course, it's romance. So then there's the whole plot thing of trying to get over this desire to protect people from this thing you have inside of you and not feed it and demolish the world, but also like have somebody for you. So I like them. I don't like them as much as Crystal Cole's books, but I like them, and like I said, I own several. It's another Jennifer Cruzy, maybe this time. I know for sure this one I did not read. It's another Gina Showalter, Ecstasy in Darkness and The Darkest Lie. This is Lords of the Underworld. This one I have not read because this one is an alien huntress novel. And the setting is in Chicago. I actually don't know why I haven't read that yet. I think I got this one at a used bookstore though, because it is beat the fuck up. Also by Gina Showalter, Playing with Fire. Then I have my Sherrilyn Kenyon babies. So, Time on Time, which I already have. I already actually unhauled one because I had 2 copies of them here. And I'm going to have to unhaul one again. Born of Ice, which is part of her League series. Seize the Night, which is part of her Dark Hunter series. Upon the Midnight Clear, which is a Dream Hunter book, which is part of the Dark Hunter series. This is one of the ones that I explained before, they get to starting to break off kind of fucking crazy. So then we have Dream Hunters and Were Hunters and blah 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 blah. This is one of the Dream Hunters. This is when I started seeing that differentiation on the bottom. I was like, wait a minute, what is this? But this one's like a little mini shorter, like Christmassy one. So that's cool. And there is Dream Chaser by Sherrilyn Kenyon. Dark Desire by Christine Feehan. This one I think was one of the first ones I read of hers, her Carpathian series. Shay O'Halloran has been basically like hearing voices in her head. Someone kind of drew her across the ocean, so she goes on this type of vacation only to find out like that when she got there it's actually like her mate that's been calling to her, and I think that he is so old that he basically wanted to end it all, and then she brought him back. More Gina Showalter books. So there is Beauty Awakened, which is part of the Angels of the Dark series. There is Lord of the Vampires, which is part of the Royal House of Shadows series. Oh, there's 4 books in one. This is Lord of the Vampires, The Darkest Angel, The Amazon Curse, and The Darkest Prison. Clearly I have not read that one yet. Wicked Nights, which was once again part of the Angels of Dark series, like Beauty Awakened. I just really like these cornball covers. Like, I really don't like to read them in public because then people are like, but fuck y'all. Read what I want! So thus far, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Gina Showalter books. Embrace the Night by Karen Chance, which I didn't know I already had because I didn't read it, apparently. Another Cressida Cole, Dark Sky. Another Jennifer Cruzy, Tell Me Lies. This one I think is one of my favorites. This is really funny. Contemporary Romance. The Dream Hunter by Sherrilyn Kenyon. This is from the World of the Dark Hunters, but of course one of the Dream Hunter ones. Also by Sherrilyn Kenyon, I have No Mercy, which I think is, yep, over there in hardback. Whatever, keeping it, because I bought that one full price. Then there is The Guardian. Did I read this one? I did not read this one. I don't know, nobody named Seth. I ain't got my life together. Then there is Dark Bites by Sherrilyn Kenyon, which I have been looking for this mofo for forever. It's really hard to find for some reason. Wait. That one's signed, not to me, because I bought it from a secondhand store. Don't bother me none. Then there is, that one was one I bought when I was in Houston. These I already owned. There's Bad Moon Rising by Sherrilyn Kenyon. This is one of my favorites. This is one of the Were Hunters, because of course shifters are always my favorite. And then Retribution, which is a Dark Hunter series. This one's about Jess, who was a Wild Wild West gunslinger before he was betrayed and died, and his romance. Okay, so then by Jennifer Ashley, there's Pride Mates. I've read this one several times. It's part of the Shifter Unbound series. This is one of the ones where this one takes place in Austin. Shifters were basically made to join this sort of like compound. Basically, once they were discovered, they were all collared, and the collars shock them when they have like adrenaline spikes or anger spikes to keep them from committing violence, supposedly. And they put all the shifters in these little shifter towns, and they're not allowed to have certain type of jobs, they're not allowed to accumulate a certain amount of money, that kind of a thing. So they kind of go around the rules and have these secret hideaways in their houses. They find ways to get around the collars, and it's a really interesting take on like shifter colonization, if that's what you want to call it. So I like it. I've read, there are a lot of books now in this series, the Shifter Unbound series, and I've read several. I think I just read an arc for one, actually, not that long ago. Wild Wolf, whatever. Then there is The Cursed One by Rhonda Thompson. This is The Wild Wolves of London. I don't believe I've read this one, but I could have read it and have forgotten. I think this is historical romance with shifters. Yeah, buddy. Moving that up the TBR, another Christine Feehan, Dark Knight. Okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of some of these because I have a lot of them. So, Fantasy Lover by Sherrilyn Kenyon. I have a paperback of this, but it's the old cover when it first came out that looks like old school historical romance. So I'm keeping both of these. This goes to my Sherrilyn Kenyon pile, and then Born of Night, which is part of the League series. I want to say this is the first League book. It is the first League book, and it is still my favorite. It is still my favorite. It is about Nikirian Kyakides, who is a League assassin. It introduces you to the League. It introduces you to like the rebel thing, and just go read it. Okay, if you like it's not really space opera-y, but it's like paranormal romance in space or urban fantasy in space, because the plot continues through all of them. It's not just like individual paranormal romances, but I like them. Then the historical romances by Sherrilyn Kenyon under the pen name Kendall McGregor, Sword of Darkness and Night of Darkness. They are part of the Lords of Avalon series. I think I rebought them, and they are over there. Crap. And I don't have this one though. This is Return of the Warrior, which is part of the Brotherhood of the Sword series, also by Sherrilyn Kenyon. What is this thing unstapled in here? Oh, the little cheesy insert fell out. You know how in older romance books they have like that little, like the cover is a little shorter, and then they have the color page behind it, and it usually has like a corny picture on it. This one fell out and somebody stapled it. I know I wouldn't have done that shit, so that's rude as fuck. Another Crispy Cole, Pleasure of a Dark Prince. Do I have that one over here? Yes, I do have it now in hardback. But it's okay, I'm keeping them both. If anybody wants to borrow it, they can have the paperback. Pay full price for them. I ain't getting rid of them. If I got it from like a thrift store, I just really hate it. Alright, but other than that, nah. Wicked by Gregory Maguire. I can't tell you how many times I bought this damn book. This is the first one I ever bought when I was in high school. Like, see, this I bought this from Borders. Borders ain't even open no more. When the last time you been to a Borders? Don't worry, I'll wait. Remember, try to remember. Can't remember, can you? Again, Gina Showalter, The Darkest Surrender. More Sherrilyn Kenyon. So this one is Night Embrace. This one is Celtic Dark Hunter Talon story. He got ran over by a Mardi Gras float, I believe, in the beginning of this. Good shit. Then there is Dance with the Devil, which is Zarek's story. And if you like J.R. Ward and you like Zeta's story, this has the same kind of like, he's just basically been like screwed over his whole life. So when something does go well for him, it hits him hard. So this was a really good romance one. And this one, like, Artemis screwed him the fuck over. Fucking bitch. But anyway, good stuff. Then there is Night Pleasures. Whose is this? Kyrian of Thrace. This is the first Dark Hunter book I ever read. And it is the first Dark Hunter book after Fantasy Lover. Fantasy Lover has Julian of Macedon. And he's not a Dark Hunter, but he gets embroidered in the world, so that book is first. And then Night Pleasures is Kyrian of Thrace, who was Julian's best friend. He's a Dark Hunter, and this is the first in the Dark Hunter book, and it introduces you to the world from a different aspect than you got to look at in Fantasy Lover. So this one is still one of my favorites. I've read it a lot, as you can tell. This one was one I started reading. I took them to work with me, and it got kind of beat up. Then there's another Crystal Cole, Dreams of a Dark Warrior, part of the Immortals After Dark series. This one is Regin the Radiant. This one I really liked because Regin is a, what is she? She is a Valkyrie, and she is also, she fell in love with this, I want to say he's a berserker, and he got cursed to just continually be reincarnated and find her, and then their love always ends tragically. So they're like star-crossed lovers who are doomed to keep repeating that same star-crossed cycle. Then there is Son of No One by Sherrilyn Kenyon. This is Cadogan's, I think. Cadogan is maybe how you say his name. I don't know. But he was a knight, and his story was a little different. I can't remember how, but I know that whole setting was a little odd. But also Dark Hunter. Dark Hunter universe, rather. And then there is Acheron, I think is how technically you're supposed to say his name, but everybody said his name Acheron for forever until she like phonetically spelled it out in one of her books. This is his story, my poor baby Ash. Oh my god, he got done so dirty his whole life. Look how big this baby is. I love this. This is one of the ones that I bought and paid full price for, and this is one of the ones that when I went to my storage unit, it was just like the box was split open and it was hanging out, and I was like, no, I gotta get my books. And my mom was like, bro, really? I was like, yes, you don't understand. And this was the one I could see. And so this was one of the ones that if you followed the Dark Hunter series from the beginning or close to the beginning, and you saw how like kind of mysterious and broody and just like secretive Ash was, and just how hurt as like more of his storyline started coming out, you just craved his story. You really wanted it. So when it finally came out and it was this big, girl, we all died. We fucking died. Okay, we died. She gonna need her own shelf, y'all. Also by Sherrilyn Kenyon, there is Styx, who is, spoiler alert, if you have not read the series but you want to and you have not made it to at least Ash's book, spoilers, go wait till I put the book down, okay? So Styx is Acheron's twin brother. He's like an evil twin. They got split up. It's just complicated. It was mild spoilers, but it's fine. But I haven't read this one yet because the other book made me hate him. But I'm kind of interested now because you can't skip any of her books because you go later and something integral to the overall plot happened. Something integral to the whole plot happened. And then you miss it, and then the characters will pop up later with the person they got with, and you like, wait a minute, what the hell? So yeah, there is Night Play by Sherrilyn Kenyon, which is also none of my favorites. This is one of the Werehunters, I believe. Yes, this is Vane and Fang Catalakis, I think. They are Greek Werehunters, and they are two of my favorite characters. I don't know why I don't have this one in hardcover, but best believe I'm gonna find. Maybe I do. Okay, so I don't have it, but I'm gonna get it. Ciao. Help! Dream Warrior, which is a dream hunter novel. Told you they break up all crazy. Then there is In Other Worlds. This is 3 classic stories of fantasy, magic, and romance, all by Sherrilyn Kenyon. So this is an anthology. And then there is Kiss of the Night by Sherrilyn Kenyon. This one is Wolf's story. Wolf is one of the Viking dark hunters who people forget him 5 minutes after he leaves the room. But this is one of the dark hunter ones, and if I tell you what it's about, it gets all confusing because it brings into it like Apollo and the Apollites and that whole fucking mess. If you have not been reading the series from the beginning, it is so convoluted trying to fucking explain it. Is that all of her books now? Shit. Then ElfQuest, which is one of my favorite graphic novel series. They are super old. They came out in the 70s. They're fucking phenomenal. There are a couple of mass market paperback books. This one I found. I think I either found it in a thrift store or bought it from the library. It never gave it back. It's mine now. I want to say that is all of the books. This is gonna be long as fuck. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that is it for this book haul, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And just look at all these. Look. These in my hand right here, and these and this stack here are all the Sherrilyn Kenyon books I brought back from home, in addition to the pile behind them and the paperbacks that are over there. The next time I say, I don't know if I have a favorite author or not, you have my permission to cuss me smooth fuck out. Then, no, that's not all of them. That's not all of them. That ain't ridiculous at all. Then there are the Christine Feehan books and the Gina Showalter books. So, as you can tell, paranormal romance is my first love, and that shit is not faded. So, the only other books author I have a lot of in here are Beverly Jenkins and Connie Mason and Julie Garwood, who all write historical romance, and Beverly Jenkins writes African American historical romance, and she has some contemporary romances, which are awesome. So, and Meg Cabot is the only other non-historical author I have a lot of her books. So, that is it for this haul, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all later. Now I gotta put all this shit away.